Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will talk about the features of the Indian Constitution which are borrowed from different countries across the world. Let's start. So for better remembering these features, I have divided the countries into 7 categories. The division is on the basis of the number of features which are borrowed from these countries. Like for example, Japan and Germany has provided us one feature. France, USSR and South Africa has provided us 2 features each. Ireland and Australia has provided us 3 features each. Canada has provided us 4 features. In the same way, USA and Britain we have 6 and 7. The whole content of this lecture or this video is summarized in this slide. I am not going to tell you anything extra other than these features. Okay, I have covered all these features which are mentioned in the Lakshmikant and whatever source I was going through, and with these features I have created some mnemonics. So let's start from Germany. The number one country is Germany, and the feature that has been borrowed from Germany's constitution is suspension of fundamental rights during emergency. As you can see in the picture, the Hitler is giving a speech and he is saying that there will be no fundamental rights because we are in a war condition. Okay, so if you are able to recall this flashcard memory, it will be easier for you to recall what feature has been borrowed from Germany. Okay, the second number country is Japan, and the feature that has been borrowed from Japan is procedure established by law. Japan has developed procedure established by law. So if you are able to recall this picture, you will be able to recall what Japan has given us. Okay. Then comes France at number 3. France has given us 2 features. These are republican structure and the values of liberty, equality and fraternity which are mentioned in the preamble. As if you are able to recall the preamble, these 3 are mentioned in the preamble itself. Okay. Now let's move to the number 4. The number 4 we have USSR. USSR has given us 2 features. First one is fundamental duties and the second one is justice. Whether it is a social, economic or political justice, all these 3 type of justice has been mentioned in the preamble, and these are borrowed from the constitution of USSR. Okay, and you can see in the flashcard that Putin is holding a pamphlet or a paper in his hands which has written fundamental duties on it, and he is pointing towards the justice balance that is visible in the courts. Okay, ये तराजू जो है ना उसको justice balance बोलते हैं. And the mnemonic that has been created for this flashcard is Russia obeys the fundamental duty of providing justice to each one of its citizens. Now we are done with the USSR. Now let's move to the number 5 country. The number 5 country is South Africa. You can see in the scenery or visuals that Nelson Mandela is writing something on its notebook, and this notebook is nothing but the constitution of South Africa. And in front of Nelson Mandela ji, there is a box on which the RS election time is written, that is basically Rajya Sabha election. Okay, so there are 2 features which are visible in this flashcard. These features are constitutional amendment, means Nelson Mandela ji उस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बुक में कुछ ना कुछ अमेंडमेंट कर रहे हैं, एंड सेकंड वन इज राज्यसभा इलेक्शन टाइम चल रहा है. ठीक है, अब इसके लिए निमोनिक ये है कि साउथ अफ्रीका अमेंडेड इट्स कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ड्यूरिंग राज्यसभा इलेक्शन. मतलब राज्यसभा इलेक्शन हो रहे थे उस समय साउथ अफ्रीका के मतलब लोगों ने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को अमेंड करा और फिर उसमें ऐसा प्रोविज़न डाल दिया कि राज्यसभा के अंदर सिर्फ उन्हीं के लोग जीते. आई एम जस्ट किडिंग. ओके, इट वाज जस्ट अ जोक. नाउ लेट्स मूव टू द कंट्री नंबर 6. In this flashcard you can see there is an airland on which 2 persons are standing. First one is DSP rank officer and second one is a man in formals whose name is Raju. So the police officer is saying that I nominate Raju, that is DSP is nominating Raju for presidential election. Okay, So Ireland has given us three features. First one is DPSP, that has been denoted by DSP. The second feature is Rajya Sabha nomination, that has been represented by Raju's nomination. Okay. The third one is presidential election, that has been represented by the presidential election with the flag. Okay. So the mnemonic that has been prepared for this country is Ireland's DSP nominates Raju for presidential election. Now let's move to the country number 7. It is Australia, and from Australia we have borrowed three features. These are freedom of trade, concurrent list, and joint house sitting. So you can see in this flashcard that there is a building on which joint house sitting is written, and in front of it there is a cricketer, obviously in the Australian cricket jersey, and he is giving a press conference to Concurrent Affairs channel. Okay, TV channel, and he is saying freedom of trade. We got the freedom of trade. So the mnemonic that has been prepared for this country is Australia declares freedom of trade after the currently held joint house sitting. Now let's move to the country number 8. The country number 8 is Canada. As you can see in the flashcard, there is an arrow that has been pointed from the Supreme Court building to the bodybuilder, and this bodybuilder is giving a letter on which governor appointment is written, and this letter is given to whom? It is given to a governor who is holding in its hand a suitcase on which residuary powers is written. Okay, so this is going to create our mnemonics. So first of all, before proceeding towards the mnemonic, let's understand the 4 features that has been borrowed from the Canadian Constitution. These features are strong center, appointment of governor, residuary powers to the center, and the advice of Supreme Court. So the mnemonic says that Canada's strong center appoints governor with the residuary powers on the advice of Supreme Court. So in this picture you can definitely very easily see that the Supreme Court is advising this bodybuilder to appoint this person as governor, and this person is given the residuary power with it also. Now let's move to the country number 9. The number 9 we have Government of India Act 1935, and there are total 5 features that has been borrowed from that act. These features are federal system, office of governor, public service commission, emergency provisions, and distribution of powers, that is list, that are mentioned in the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So in the flashcard you can see there is a building on which Government of India is written, and in front of it there is a person giving press conference, and this person has written federal governor on the podium, and beneath this federal governor the public service commission is written, and this federal governor is saying something, that is emergency distribution publicized, and it is also holding in its hands emergency provisions named folder. Okay, federal means federal system, governor means office of governor, publicize means public service commission, emergency means emergency provisions, the provisions which are useful under the cases of emergency, and distribution means the distribution of power between the center, state, and others that are mentioned in the 7th schedule. Okay, and now let's move to the country number 10. So the 10th country is USA. There are in total 6 features that has been borrowed from the USA's constitution. First one is the role of vice president. The second one is fundamental rights. The third one is independent judiciary. The fourth one is judicial review. The fifth one is impeachment of president, and the sixth one, that is the removal of judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. Okay, so for this we have this flashcard. We can see a judge whose name is VP Singh. He is sitting in the courtroom, and on his desk there are 2 more plates. This says judicial review, and beneath it is written independent judiciary. And the judge can be also the judge can also be seen funding something in this piggy bank. And on the right side of it there is a person standing, and he has been impeached. Beneath it, it is written POTUS, that is President of the United States, and it is written also impeachment of the president on this person. It is labeled as impeached president. Okay, so the mnemonic that has been prepared for these features is the US Judge VP Singh funded for the independent judicial review of the presidential impeachment. So judge represent the removal of judges from HC and SC, that is Supreme Court and High Court. VP means vice president. Funded means fundamental rights. Independent means independent judiciary. Judicial review means judicial review itself, and the presidential impeachment means presidential impeachment itself. So this was the mnemonic, this was the flashcard, and we are done with the USA. Now let's move to country number 11, that is Britain. It is the last country, and it has given us the most features that has been borrowed from countries. So there are total 7 features that has been borrowed from Britain other than the Government of India Act 1935. So these features are parliamentary system, writs, rule of law, bicameralism, parliamentary privileges, legislature, and cabinet system. In the flashcard, you can see that the scenario is of British Parliament. The speaker is holding a letter or a bill in her hands, which says that written a roll of BPL cabinet. And on the right, you can see there is a circle in which BPL cabinet is seen. The mnemonic is Britain's parliament has a written roll of BPL cabinet. That it says that BPL cabinet का जो भी रोल है वो ब्रिटेन के पार्लियामेंट में well written है. Okay, let's read it word by word. The parliament says parliamentary system. Written represent the writs. ROL represents rule of law. OF and BPL represents 3 features. These are bicameralism, parliamentary privileges, and the legislature. And the cabinet represents the last 7th feature, that is cabinet system. So here we are done with the features that has been borrowed in the Indian Constitution from different nations. So I hope you were able to recall these features with the help of these flashcards or the mnemonics that has been created with some effort, with a lot of efforts. So take care, continue your studies, and have a nice day. Bye bye.